It's nearly a month now since Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 dropped off the radar on its way to Beijing, which means the black box batteries are running down. The search entered a new stage Friday in the waters west of Australia, while in Kuala Lumpur, officials vowed to continue following any new lead. And that's where we find CCTV's James Chau. He joins us live with the latest. James?
Thanks very much, Mike. Well, you can probably hear this rain pouring down behind me in KL. Much better visibility, thankfully, over in Australia. But as you said a bit earlier, this search has now switched from a surface search to a deep sea one. That means aircraft are going to be pulled back and the vessels are going to be pulled out again for that. Principally, they're looking at the towing of an emergency relocation pinger that can somehow detect submarines, but also for downed commercial aircraft. That's still on its way, and that's going to be very, very key, obviously, over the next couple of days. There is one camp and one school of thought that says time is not going to make any difference. With that running out on April 7th, that's going to be the last emitting signal from that black box. Some say there's no hope in the world that they're going to find that black box by then, but there's another school of thought saying that they have to do everything possible because that is their last chance in a way to find that black box, to recover some of that data and to provide some closure for those families.
James, the face of this investigation, Malaysia's Defense Minister, a man you've interviewed, I know, was in Hawaii for the ASEAN summit. Has he returned to Kuala Lumpur and this investigation?
Well, he got back to Kuala Lumpur at about midnight local time. That's about 8 hours ago. He's going to be giving a press conference, our sources tell us, later today. That'll be the first in many, many days. And we're all waiting to see whether all that reaffirmation, all that symbolism from ASEAN and Hawaii is really going to pay off. And of course, he went to the US Fleet Command to try and re-engage there on that seeking of that submarine. The British have already said they're going to send one, and that's already on its way. But at the same time, when we talk about this search, it's so easy to forget about the families here in Kuala Lumpur and, of course, over in lead.And in many, many other countries besides. Our latest sources tell us that it's still a very, very hostile reception that they're getting over in both cities principally. But I think, Mike, it's fair to say that there has been a change in tone. Some of that harshness, some of that sharpness and that rhetoric coming from the family seems to have been blunted a bit because I think the representatives came here 1 week ago, because they were able to meet the investigators face to face and hear from them just how complex this challenge is. And of course, you're hearing Tony Abbott, the Australian Prime Minister, back up the Malaysians, saying that he thinks they've done their level best, but a very, very difficult situation. They still contact the media. They still ask us to verify all the rumors that they're hearing. We're not repeating those rumors, of course, until we verify them. But of course, a very, very complex picture, not just logistically, but especially emotionally, Mike.
All right, James Chau, live for us in Kuala Lumpur. Thanks so much.